Alright, so today Bryce Mitchell and Gene Silva got into a backstage altercation, a fight backstage before their grappling match, and they kind of fought and then people got them off, and we're going to look at it because if you don't know, they are fighting a submission only grappling fight on this Hype Brazil card, whatever this is, and also on the card is Arman Sukin versus Muhammad Makayev. I said Movsar, don't know why. You got Gene Silva, Bryce Mitchell, you got Shada Bullet versus Edson Barboza. And we're going to look at what's happened because they're obviously fighting. This is a rematch. This is a rematch in grappling and jiu-jitsu submission only. And, obviously if you don't know beforehand, I'm sure everyone knows the whole, what was it, about a year ago, Bryce Mitchell fought Gene Silva I believe it was last April, and obviously that fight itself, and Gene Silva won the fight. He won the fight by submission. I think it's like what was it called? It's like a ninja choke or something like that. I think that's the actual word for the choke. You've seen that picture of Bryce Mitchell lying unconscious with his eyes up in the sky at the camera. You've probably seen that before. And but before that, everyone knows the whole the backstory to that. It was because Bryce Mitchell was on his podcast. He was on his podcast and he was saying that about a bunch of too much red pills about World War II history. He was saying that the Big H was right in what he did, and he was justified. That's what Bryce Mitchell was saying. And remember when Dana White came out with a sheet of paper at the press conference, the post fight. I think it was like a power slap press conference, or like something press conference anyway. And he was like, reading off Hitler's like statistics, like he killed 6 million and like all that stuff. So that was the reason why that fight took place. And also Gene Silva was like, he's Netanyahu's top guy, if that's what you want to call him. You know what I mean? He is Netanyahu's puppy dog. Literally because of the barking and stuff. But yeah. Anyway, that was backstory to the fight. Now they're rematching, and on this, and the other day, I think this was yesterday. This is them facing off. So I'm gonna play the video and I'll show you. That's not what I want. This never happens. All right, we're gonna play it smallly.
Let's go. Do it tomorrow, buddy. Let's go. You be tapping tomorrow, buddy.
Oh, no.
You gonna be tapping in front of all your friends, buddy.
I again choke, bro.
Yeah.
You
got me once. Tomorrow I'm gonna get you, buddy. You brush your teeth.
Brasil, a gente tá em casa. A gente tá em casa, gente. A gente tá em casa.
You ain't scaring me. I'm in your country. You got all your people here. What you gonna do? You got 20 people against me. You ain't gonna hurt me though. You ain't gonna touch me. You ain't gonna do nothing. You couldn't hurt a fly.
So yeah, pretty much that was it. It was them facing off next to like a mountain or whatever. Or not mountain, but that's something in Brazil. I don't know what would you call that? Big rock. The big rock in Brazil. So the next to that, they're facing off. They're doing the whole like head against head. Gene Silva pushes him, and Bryce Mitchell saying like he's saying, as it says here, like you'll be tapping tomorrow, and then Gene says like I will choke you again, because obviously he choked him in the first fight in the UFC. And then Bryce says he needs to brush his teeth, saying he has bad breath because he is so close to him. And so that happened yesterday, and ahead of this fight. And then today, as what I said at the start of the video, there was a backstage altercation. So backstage altercation, and I'm going to show this, where, they meet. It looks like it starts off by Gene Silva shaking his hand, and then just chaos ensues.
No padding either, bare knuckle.
There you go. So Bryce Mitchell just here. Gene Silva comes over, tries to shake his hand. And then Bryce Mitchell slaps his drink. I think that's a drink. Yeah, drink of water, cup of water. Slaps it away. And Gene Silva grabs him, tries to wrestle him or whatever, and then, or drags him to the ground. He like spins him to the ground. And then the security guards or the team members start going at each other. You know, everyone's fighting. It's a chaos. And then Bryce Mitchell like ninja Granby rolls out of there. I know that's not a Granby roll, but that's what I'm going to call it. Up kicks the security guard and then gets up, and Gene Silva gets grabbed by what I can assume is one of his guys. So that happened today, and everyone's like, whoa, what's going on? After, you know, you've had the face-off. This face-off seemed pretty cordial, or somewhat cordial for Gene Silva face-off anyway. There was the barking, but there was no fighting. And then the fighting's happened today. Yeah, backstage. However, this video is fake. This is a fake scripted fight. This isn't real. This is obviously fake. If you've seen what happened earlier, because earlier, Muhammad Makayev tweeted this, saying beef squash with a picture of Bryce Mitchell, Muhammad Makayev in the center, and Gene Silva on the right. So what's obviously happened is they've like agreed to do this grappling thing, maybe behind the scenes beforehand, even before they even agreed to fight. They've like, you know, as Muhammad Makayev said here, beef squash. They've kind of maybe talked things out, maybe been more friendly, because I think Gene Silva did actually have some sort of animosity towards Bryce Mitchell after his comments last year, and that's the reason why he wanted to fight him, and he obviously fought him very aggressively when they fought. And, you know, that happened, and maybe now they've kind of talked behind the scenes, and they're all good. So obviously this one where they're at the foot, this is obviously all for show. It's kind of not. It's probably part of it's acting, part of it's kind of like they actually, you know, competitivism. They're gonna fight, so they're gonna grapple, I guess. So there's that, and then this is just obviously like just to hype up the fight, because they always do these shows like, what even is hype Brazil? I don't even VBet, some, you know, blockchain. I have no idea, or not blockchain. I'm thinking of VChain. It would be some betting thing. So there's that. So they're gonna have to hype up the fight in one way, and what they've done is, you know, put all this. It's gonna go somewhat. I'm gonna say somewhat viral. It's not really got this many views, but maybe in another one it does. Just hype up the fight, because, you know, they're doing it in this random Brazilian submission only thing. So yeah, and I guess it's good to see this. It's good to see them kind of become a bit more friendly with each other. It's quite wholesome, you know, wholesome Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell will be throwing up a salute one day, and the next minute he's hanging out with the top guy. He's hanging out with Gene Silva. And, you know, we've got all the Abrahamic religions here. We've got Christianity on the left, we got Islam in the middle, and we got Judaism on the right. So it's good to see all the Abrahamic religions come together as one on this Brazilian grappling event. So that's all good to see. But anyway, there was nothing on today. I just thought I'd make this video because why not? It's somewhat interesting, because, you know, it's going to be, you'll see the highlights afterwards, you know, Bryce Mitchell and Gene Silva, because it'll be a funny. I assume Gene Silva is going to make it like somewhat entertaining. He's going to start doing some like barking, like when he's, you know, when they're wrestling or whatever, or when they're grappling. Who knows? I have no idea who's going to win. I've got no idea who's going to win. So, you know, I don't really care that much. So yeah, there's that. But this is, I don't know, it's cool to see, I guess. So yeah, but that's all I want to talk about today. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out. If you have anything to say about this, any opinions on Gene Silva, Bryce Mitchell, comment below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you later. Bye.